Generic greetings! Project Highrise is a skyscraper construction and management game. What that means essentially is that you build a big kick-ass tower and fill it with stuff. I've been aware of the game for quite some time and been looking forward to it, however, it ain't yet out, but since a lot of people have been playing and displaying it on YouTube, I really couldn't resist, so I abused my powers as random internet guy that makes crappy videos and got myself a copy. As you can see on the bottom there, it does say build beta blah 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 some numbers, which means it isn't out yet. Anything can change. I think they're aiming for a sort of September release, but that could change. That is very, very tentative. Don't quote me on that. Either way, we're going to be doing a bit of a mini-series on this and building a tower. I've played about 3 hours, 2.5 to 3 hours. I've done the tutorials, which are quite good. I've done a scenario and tried to make several towers, but they've all either gone bankrupt or just been a bit crap. So that's really what could happen here, but hopefully the journey is good, perhaps not the destination. Let's go to a new game, and we need to actually make our tower. So what we're going to call it, we're going to be calling it Generic Heights and difficult level standard, lot size standard, and we will start this thing. Because it's a construction series, I will obviously be taking your feedback and things like that if I can, although I've found that a lot of the choices so far have been quite black or white. Like, I haven't really gone, oh, what do you want to do here? So it'll more be like, where do you want to go in terms of the construction, like the overall theme of the building. But anyway, I'm going to run through the game just a little bit. This is not a preview video because I'll do a full one of them once we get to the full release of the game, but a quick rundown of what you can see on the UI. Top left, we've got some buttons that show you things like overlays, so view, traffic, elevators. Obviously, all of that is off at the moment because there's no one in here. We got another button for utilities, so you've got power, electrical supplies, phones, gas pipes, things like that. Then you got another one for your construction grid, which shows you like the overall height of your tower, and this is the overall build box, so you can't go outside, left or right. There you go. We've also got on the right hand side our overall goal, which are these like they're not goals, they're contracts, but yeah, I guess they're just goals, so it tells you what you do. It also serves as a bit of a tutorial in place as well. Bottom is the buttons for all of the building, which we'll go through separately because going through it now would just be stupid. So this is our tower. As you can see, we've got some foundations which are going down, these piles going down into the hard ground there, and we've got some like cables going in left and right, or there could be sewage, could be anything, and that is cool. We've got a unit here, what's that? Unit report, or stairs, of course. A set of stairs that go down from the main entrance and then into the basement. Now, generally, you don't want to be putting people in the basement. I don't even think you can do that, although I've not tried. I might have to do that. You generally put things like utilities and stuff like that. Now, what a lot of people, when they see this game, go, oh, it's a bit like a game called Sim Tower, which was a mid-90s game by Maxis about building a tower. Well, that's exactly what I thought. I thought it was a spiritual successor to that. Well, actually, the spiritual successor to Sim Tower was a game called Ute Tower, I believe, which is a sort of follow from that. And I thought, oh, this one's going to be sort of a bit like Sim Tower. Although it shares the same theme, it's very, very different, and it's a lot more in depth. You run things like power lines and stuff like that, so that's just cool because that's the sort of thing I was looking for. Anyway, what we're going to do is crack on with some building. So we need to go to construct floor, and I'm going to put myself a set of stairs here. Now, I could go stairs or I could go elevator. If we're going to plan ahead, we go for elevator because when you get to a certain height, you really don't want to be using anything but elevators. So I think I will go with an elevator now. It's going to cost me a bit more, but we'll crack on with that one. Let's just have a look at our city contracts here. We've got different contracts on the right hand side. Obviously, proof of concept is here, which is get a grand in terms of our daily rent. So I want to go for that one, but you can have more than one going at a time. I'm going to go for probably the basic offices, which is the Department of Planning and Development. Wants you to ensure that the city economical tax base is diversified and not overly dependent on any one sector. So we'll start that contract. We get 500 up front, and we get a grand when it's completed, and we also get some of this shaky hand stuff, which is influence, and influence is used to unlock things. It's sort of a technology stroke research tree, a bit like bureaucracy in Prison Architect, that sort of thing. And as you can see, we got basic office achievements, like what we need to do. So we need to go for insurance agents, 4 of, accountants 4 of, lawyers 4 of, and creators 4 of. So we're going to put that along here. So what I want to do is just unpause it, and I will let the workmen actually get up and walk around. As you can see, very stylized aesthetic, very, very good. All side on, obviously, and the color scheme is quite muted. It's got a lot of earth tones in it. It actually reminds me a bit of sort of Team Fortress 2 style, the way that it looks. In fact, it's I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure it's got its influences from Mad Men, as in specifically the intro to that. I'm pretty sure I read that on their blog or something like that, and there's a lot of that going around. Like, a lot of the technology does seem sort of from the 60s and 70s, although To be fair, you've also got like things like modern tills and things like that, so it's a bit all over the place, but certainly the colour scheme and the way the characters are and the way they walk around. In fact, I know one of the guys that worked in one of the creative offices that I had was a bit of a nod to that, because he was called Phil Draper or something like that, which obviously is analog to Donald Draper in Mad Men. By the way, that's actually a good series, you should watch it. I'm about mid-season 5 at the moment, and it's quite good. So anyway, they're building an elevator there, which is good, and make things go up and down, which is fantastic. What we need to do is pause it a second and then go to offices. So we'll go for some office space, not the 90s comedy film, which again is actually pretty good. Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. What we're going to do is shove down some office suites. So we'll put 1 there, 2 there, 3 there, and oh, we're already out of space. So what I'm going to do is stop that, and I want to actually then go to my delete, and then delete this thing here. That was like a power cupboard, and I'll get back to that later, because what I want to do is expand this off to about there. So I'm going to expand it to like 4 levels, and the reason I'm doing that is 4 blocks is because each of these offices is 4 blocks. And then what I want to do is go 1, 2, 3, 4 again. Do I want 4? Hang on, let me have a quick look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 actually. I wanted to go 5, and the reason for that is, well, I'll actually explain it later because we don't really need to go through it fully now. So let's just close it. Just empty the space for rent, blah 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 blah. Yeah, close that, we don't need to know that. Right. So I'm going to unpause it. There we go. In fact, I can speed up by pressing 2. There you go. You can also use these buttons on the buttons on the bottom left there, time controls and such. I have a Logitech G600, so I've got like 12 buttons on the side, which means I can just press the number 2 button. Hey, excellent. What else do we need? We also need another office there. Excellent. So, as you can see, we now have 4 office suites, and each one you then will assign different people to it. So, insurance offices, there is 4 people, 4 potential tenants. We can click on that and say which tenants do we want, and each one of them will have a certain number of rent that they will pay. So, this is Eagle Inc. wants to move in, and they will pay 100 generic credits, stroke units of currency, to come in here. They need an electrical line, and it says expects copy services as well. Alright, so we don't have copy services, and we don't yet have an electrical line, so that is problematic. So what can we do about that? Well, what I'm going to do is wait for these to finish off, and then what I'll do, I'll actually put in said electrical line. Now, the main electrical line is coming in from the basement here, and that is one of our substation-y type things. It's called a electrical transformer, and that can supply 10 electricity throughout the building. So that's 10 areas, okay? So obviously that's not big enough when you consider it's going to be like this big, but we'll get on that later on in different power grids and such if we get that far. But what I want to do is just go for I want to go to building again, and then I want to expand this along like so. And then what I'm going to do is probably keep this for now, but we will actually put a bigger one in. Now, what you need to do in order to get power and other utilities to different floors is use this thing here. So it allows you to place a wiring closet, or for example a cable TV. Actually, cable TVs. Oh, right, okay. Wiring closet runs electricity. It runs phones, it runs cable TV. That's your wiring closet. Then you've got water and you've got gas, which are the same thing. So you actually only need 2 of them, so 2 spaces. So I was a little bit wrong there. Okay, that's fine. Let's go for wiring closet. And what I want to do is place a wiring closet just next to these. But what I'm going to do is probably leave a bit of a gap between them, probably about there. And then, do I want to leave a gap about that? I think that'll be okay. The reason I'm doing that is because I really want to plan really for elevators later on if we actually get that far. So I'm going to leave a bit of a gap. I'm going to put that in there. And that is our power cupboard. So that's our wiring cupboard. And you can see that the power goes up. It always picks it up from the bottom or top. So you can see we've got power going into here. Then what we need to do is expand our power lines all the way to the end there. There we are. So that means that these ones will be now powered. So if I go to insurance offices and this one here, it says needs electrical line. We have got electrical line. And I want to just get all of these people in. So I, Solomon & Co., P. Legray and Associates, and also City Insurance Co. But these also require, I don't know if you saw, they also require a copy station, I believe it was. So what I'll do, was it a copy station? I think there is a way to find out, but it's not entirely, I don't know if we can see it here. We can actually rename them as well. I think it said a copy station, or it could have been wrong. It could have been a postal service. I think it was copy station. Either way, those things are in this tab, and we can see we've got courier services, supply services, janitorial services, copy services. I think it's for a copy services. So what I'm going to do is put copy services about here. And the reason I'm putting it on this side is because I plan on putting... well, this is the entrance way. This here, you can see there's a bus stop, and that's where people come in. They don't come from this side, which I actually think is a bit... It's weird. I don't know why they come from one side. Now, I'm assuming later on you can build things like... Hang on, where is it? Transit, and you've got a metro station, which is a metro station that I'm guessing goes underneath here, metro station. But it's weird that you can't place like a stop either like this side or that side. Does that actually go on a metro station? Allows more visitors to enter your building and not impacted by rain. Place carefully. You can only build one, and once you build it, it cannot be destroyed. I'm guessing that's underground. That is a wild guess, though. Maybe it's over there. But either way, you would think you'd be able to build things like car parks and other areas to do it. I think that's one of the things that are missing at the moment. But maybe that's later on. As I said, this is only a sort of first impressions type thing because I've only played about 3 hours of it. But yeah, just a quick note. Anyway, so we want to expand it over this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we will let them crack on with that one. You can build, if you want to, more of these construction offices. We don't really care at the moment. Let's just go to services and then construction services. We want to go to copy service, and it's going to be here. And the reason it's going to be there... Hang on, Derek. Hang on. Oh, we haven't got... Oh, wait, okay, we haven't got it far enough is essentially what has happened there. We're going to put that there. And then what I want is 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That should do us for now. Right, unpause it. Cool. There's our daily budget summary. So at the end of at 12 o'clock at midnight, you will get a bit of a report saying this is your expenditure and this is your income. So at the moment, nothing, because we've been building and spending loads of money. Right. As I said, a lot of people are going to compare this to Sim Tower, but although the premise is the same, the idea is very, very different. I did play Sim Tower and really liked it back in the day. In fact, the first time I ever played it was my geography teacher at school was really, really into construction games and other things like that. He was a bit of a computer nerd before the term was really used. Well, before it was used as a good thing rather than a bad thing. And he lent me the game, and I played it and enjoyed it and really, really liked it. It's a shame it's not on like GOG or anything like that, because I would play the hell out of that game. Anyway, let's go for services here. We want to go coffee services, and I'm putting it there. And the reason I'm putting it there is because, as you can see, we've got another thing to go there. Now, walking through the copy services, walking through the power and water systems to get through it, I don't know what effect that will have, although I guess we're going to find out, aren't we? We're going to find out, indeed. So there's them services over there. You can see it says accountants, insurance agents, sorry, 4 out of 4. Excellent. So not too bad there at all. This side, however, you can see that we haven't actually got much going on. And the reason I've put this bit here is because what I want to do is go to food, and then we can place spaces for food. So things like cafes and that sort of thing. I'm going to put 2 of them there. Now, each one of these, as you can see, requires electricity, and oh, that's about it. Actually, that's okay. Serves lunch. Both of them serve lunch. So what I'm going to do, that's Soma Easy Sushi, and that's a GP Hot Dog Shop. We want to attract a more upmarket clientele. So I think we'll go for sushi, because that's just horrible. I don't know why people even eat that horrible stuff. I've never actually tried it, so I can't really comment, to be honest with you. Let me just electrify this thing here. I don't know if you have to run it all the way in, or whether you can just put it right next to it. Either way, I've run it all the way to the end, because we're going to be expanding to that side anyway. So a bit of a gap there. That's for our elevator that goes in. Currently, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 buildings in here. So what I want to do is I want to expand up. So I'm going to go here and then build all the way along. So there we go. Goes all the way along to this side and to there. Now, obviously, you can't build on an area that doesn't have a foundation, nor can you get an overhang, which I think... I don't know if I've seen pictures of people having overhangs, like 1 overhangs, and it would be nice to actually put that in there, but I don't know when they're going to have that. Oh, this is telling me that I can't actually get to this area, and that's fine. Well, it's not fine, but if I put an elevator there, it now is fine. And preemptively, what I'm going to do is go to our, I think, building staff and then maintenance, and I'm going to put a maintenance service in there, because if the elevators break down, then you are pretty much screwed. So here we go. We've got people working. So let's have a quick look. We've got Jean, which works at IQ Solomon & Co. Excellent, and she seems to be quite happy. Look, happiness is good. We've got Joan. We've got Frederick, and we've got Dorothy. The reason I laugh at Joan is because I'm thinking of Joan Holloway from Mad Men. Oh, actually, no, what was it? Joan... Was that a married name? Or was that a maiden name? Anyway. So, these are building up here, and what we're going to do is go to offices again and start slamming some offices down. Something has displeased one of your tenants. Let's have a quick look. Ah, he's not got electricity. Well, that would probably displease you, so what I'm going to do is resolve that and sorted. Right, there we go, that's sorted. Building electrical cable and things like that is instantaneous, but the other buildings are not. So that guy is quite unhappy, as you can see. Hopefully it is now resolved, and tenant's been considered moving out, and for some reason, there is a problem. Satisfaction is going up. I don't know why. Let's have a quick look at my overall tabs here. Electricity is working. Overall profitability is quite high on this one. Satisfaction is low, but that should be changing, surely. I don't know why. There you go. It's just because I didn't have electricity to start off with. Oh, okay, we're sorted. More restaurants. Now, you can say decline all, and then you can search for more. And the reason you might want to do that is you may have noticed that when I got someone, it said it serves at dinner. Now, obviously, you want, ideally, a restaurant that goes for dinner, breakfast, does coffee, things like that. You probably want to try and sort of stagger it. I've just realised that oh no, actually it's not too bad. We're not too bad. I thought I'd messed up something here, but I haven't. Right, over to offices again, and 1, 2, 3, 4. There's some more offices, and what we want to do is get some accountants in. Now, we could go for legal. Now, accounting, you can see it says, oh, they're not going to move in because they expect a greater variety of food and restaurants. Very, very posh, very, very. And I'm not going to eat your horrible Greg's corned beef pasties, and I'll have you know that they are very nice pasties, so shut up. Right, so. Not sponsored by Greg's this video at all, although I will take lots of money for pasties. Right, we've got a lot of people that want to move in for this office, which is legal, so we'll go for legal. Now, again, that does require power, and also it requires... hang on, legal offices. A lot of them require phone lines. Can you see that? So it needs a phone line, needs a phone line, needs a phone line. Right, so what we need to do is we need to get ourselves a wiring cupboard, and we'll shove it there. And then we will not only run electricity, because that keeps the lights on, we'll also run some phone lines as well. So you do run each separate one. Now, you might be noticing that actually that's a dotted line. Why is that a dotted line? Well, the reason that is a dotted line is because it's not actually connected to anything. What you need to do is have a switchboard. So a switchboard is essentially where everything comes in, does some magic, and then passes telephone to the actual handsets. I don't know. I don't actually work nor have worked on a switchboard. Either way, we need to put one there, and it now works. I guess it's just a big pile of... it's just a big server or something. Either way, that's now sorted, but we have a bit of a problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now this thing can only do well, it can only do 10. Obviously, if I put these 4 in, it's then maxed out. That is slightly problematic. So what I'm going to do is wait for the night time when everybody goes home. There they go. And then what I'm going to do is bulldoze the hell out of that, which doesn't turn the lights off, which I thought was a bit of a... I thought that's a bit of a misstep there. It would be nice to see these lights go off. Like, even though it says auto power, it would be nice to see all of these lights go off. So, like, all the strip lights on the top all go off, and maybe even the computers flicker or whatever. That would be a nice touch, but, you know... you can't ask for everything, can you? The reason I've deleted that is because obviously we're not going to generate enough power. What we need to do is go to power and then to our power source, and we could spend 5 grand on a massive one, but no, we're just going to get this slightly bigger one, and that will do us quite nicely. So what we need to do then is go for legal officers, and these ones here, you can see Reese Investigations, which a private... oh, we got a PI, proper gumshoe detective turning up. Sweet. He needs a phone line, electrical line, needs a phone line, expects a courier service, and expects copy service. So that's to get them happy. I don't think they don't need that, they just expect it. So they would like, oh, I think we'd want that. If you don't have it, well, sort of tough. So we need a courier service, so we'll get that in a moment, but we'll get Susan Cox Investigations, which is a investigator's office. We'll go for what's this one? Investigator's office. This is Marilyn Cohen. like sort of Coen Brothers. I don't know if there's loads of references anywhere, I'm just making them up. We've also got Pinnacle Detective Services. Sweet. We just got loads of PIs all the way along this. This is cool. This is like the coolest. To be fair, it's like if it's like a 40s PI suite though, you just can't move for all the smoke and stuff, and the dame's going, oh, my husband's gone missing. Catherine Myers LLP, which is a law office. You know what? Even though Catherine Myers pays more, I'm actually going to get the private investigator because I want a whole floor full of PIs. Right. We'll go over to services once more, and then we want to put a courier service in like so. There we are, and that should hopefully sort that out. As I said, this thing here is going to be an elevator, although it probably is perhaps not required because of like where it is, so we'll see. If you don't really care about that, what you can do eventually once you've got prestige, which unlocks different things as you go, you can just make these hallways that look nice with some art in them, so that can be fine. Right. This place, food court, that serves lunch, that serves lunch. I've already got a lunch place, so I don't really care about that one. I'm going to decline all and then search for more. It's going to cost me money, but let's crack on. We are currently receiving some money per day, although that chart suggests that we are not. We are actually receiving some money per day, which is cool. See, insurance agents are all sorted. Accountants we are going to be working on shortly, and lawyers is sorted as well. Excellent. So we've now got all this put in. We do need to run some more electrical cable over to there. Job done. And then I think we're going to smash another floor in this place, so straight across like that over to there. Right. And again, elevator, so they can walk them down. A lot of people would probably recommend you putting a stairwell in. In fact, it might be a good idea for me to delete this and have an emergency stairwell. So I know it's going to get rid of this guy with his sushi place. I'm sorry, but I'm going to bulldoze the area. It will cost you... Oh, yeah, I'm going to break the lease. So sorry. Sorry. Now, in Sim Tower, I believe you could just do that at will, and they were just like, oh, I didn't like that. Well, tough, get out. Proper compulsory purchase job, but yeah, I think that was something that could be done. Either way, we're going to put some elevators in here, so obviously we can go up and down. There's still an elevator there, and what I'm going to do is expand this, sorry, stairwell there. I'm going to expand it so it's more in keeping with the rest of this. And then what I'm going to do is food court, that serves lunch, and that says takeout, breakfast and lunch, gourmet city burritos. That's excellent. So we got one that serves both of them, so that's what you want. So you can either have multiple food areas, or if you want to, you can just sort of do what I did and just go sack it and just you know, keep refreshing the systems. It looks like people can happily walk through these areas at the back. Now, I guess, you know, yeah, they're just happily walking through this. I guess this is the problem when not only what's this? You just reached a star rating of 1. Excellent. I'm sure this is the problem when you are essentially running what is a very, very 3D building. You know, the fact that a normal building like the one I'm currently in is 2-story. It's got a couple of rooms on the ground floor, and a couple in the first floor, right? A tower is not. It's a big cube, so it's got multiple rooms on the ground floor, and it's got basements, and it's got multiple height levels, right? So it's a very 3D thing. However, the game presents it as a 2D side-on system, where they only come from one side. So it's actually reduced a lot of what it is. So it's a bit of a weird thing when you think about it, but either way, you know, because people only come from this side, it really does limit your design choices, and what you do have people walking through areas where they just wouldn't want to go. Like, I can't really put these power things over here because they'll walk through them, so they have to walk through it. So unless you're really forced to build it on one side, it's just a bit weird. It is just a bit weird. Like, I don't know what the solution would be. What would the solution be? What would the solution be? I mean, we could put these power areas in the center, and then I don't think you can set stuff as like a no-go area. I don't think you can do anything like that. But as I said, they're still cracking on with this, so hopefully, because it's a beta, you know, they'll get feedback and stuff like that. And if it is a problem, rather than just my stupid opinion, then maybe they'll change things. I don't think it is really a big issue, but it's just more of a of note. Anyway, who have we got in this new areas? So we got Peggy. We got Peggy Olsen, who works as Cox Investigators. We got Charlotte. I think there is a Charlotte in Mad Men. And we got Lorraine. I'm sure there will be all these things. Who else have we got? Deborah, Leroy, Gail, Cheryl, Michael, Betty. Hang on. There is a Betty, isn't there? Betty is Don Draper's wife, of course. or ex-wife, depending on when you... Oops, spoiler alert. Right, well, we're not going to speak on it anymore. Who have we got? We've also got Alfred and Darlene. Very nice name. Right, so these are going to be some more officers, but we have gone up in prestige. What does that mean? Well, we can go to decorative arts, and then we can do things like put some like really very, very, very stylized wallpaper in places, and you know that's okay. It doesn't cost you anything to do, but you might as well do it because you can. Really, there you go. I think we'll go for the. Oh, I think the first one. There you go. We'll go for that. All right, sorted. We can go down there as well if you really want to. It doesn't do anything other than make it look better, and you can't place it on these rooms. These are all just their standard color schemes and stuff. Look at that. A lot of people coming in here. If I actually go to traffic, we'll probably be able to see a lot of traffic going in there. Yeah, there's a lot of traffic around here, and obviously as you go up the tower, it'll change. So, these guys are cracking on up the top, or these gals. That's Gloria and Sherry. They're cracking on over there, and then we'll put more officers in. So, I think we're going to leave it there. Not a bad start to the series. So, as I said, we're going to be doing a mini-series until we go bankrupt, which could be next episode. But, overall plan is to get this thing as tall as we can and still function. Now, our overall goals is, well, hopefully to have fun, and hopefully you're enjoying watching this. And if you're at this point, I assume you are, but we also need to, where we're going to go from here. We need to know where we're going to go from here. So we've got things like more people needed, which is city wants more people in this part of town, increase your popularity. Population in the building, sorry, to 50. Or we've got studio apartments, which is get 10 studio apartments. Or we've got a bit of variety, which we need to add a... What is it? Add out a place that serves breakfast, serves lunch, and serves coffee. So actually all I need is a coffee pot, and I've done that one anyway. But which one of these would you prefer? More people, studio apartments, or variety? Vote now, and next episode, assuming we complete the basic officers, or this one here, which I think we're going to do, because as you can see, this one is almost done. So we will be doing at least one of these, if not both, next episode. We'll then pick whatever people want. As always, comments in the comments. Thanks very much for watching, take care, and generic partings. I can see me losing a lot of time to this game.